Welcome to Flow of Miracles month's energy reading for June. And we're moving from the strong major arcana energy of the chariot towards the Eight of Swords reversed. So if you had a great month in May with a lot of things moving, it's going to be quite jarring to suddenly be at a standstill and being asked to move from this really driving energy to a more introspective mental energy. If you had a tough time last month in May and things didn't work out the way you wanted to, this is a good reminder why that happened. The Eight of Swords interference reversed shows two big swords and six swords underneath. And as you can see, it's not a card that shows a lot of movement. Instead, it shows a lot of trapped energy, and it shows how things are not moving, but also gives us a lot of ideas on why that is. That's because the Eight of Swords reminds us that what we really do need to move forward is to make sure that we are whole, that we are moving in the right direction for ourselves, and that we're able to examine which limiting beliefs do not work for us. So definitely this month is going to be some time to check out why things aren't working the way you want them to work. That's why the do's are break through any self-limited beliefs, break through any kind of pain you're having. Really check out if you are connected to reality or you're trapped in your own anxieties. Really find the freedom to do things. In a lot of cards sets, this card shows a woman trapped in between swords with a blindfold on. But if you look very closely, you can see that she can still have her own freedom. And if you cannot see the way through, if you have no idea what's trapping you, the do is really to get some advice. So the do's are breakthrough, find your freedom, and get some advice. So let's start with the last one because it's so important to ask for advice when we need it. A lot of times people feel like, oh, I have to do it on my own, or I feel like I'm weak when I ask somebody else to take a look at it. But sometimes we are very unaware of our self limited beliefs. Sometimes we are unaware where we're finding only catastrophe, where we are only stuck in our anxieties. And having a second opinion from somebody you trust is gold. It means that they can really look honestly at the situation and tell you, like, hey, you know what, it's not as bad as you think it is. Or did you think about this solution or that solution? So if you feel this coming on in June, that you have a project, it's not moving, it's not working, definitely ask for advice. Of course, you can also always ask me for a free intake to look at your situation, or you can try several of the True Unity videos to get yourself out of the trap you're in. So, for your freedom, yes, when we feel trapped, when we feel cornered, we tend to do things that aren't right for us. We tend to say things that are a lot more emotional than we would have. So it's easy when you feel trapped to feel like there is no way out, but actually check how free you feel and how you can still change your situation. And then, of course, break through those self limited beliefs. So for the don'ts, it's hopelessness, cornered feeling, and self limited. So you notice a lot that when we feel hopeless, we don't make any changes. So if you notice yourself dealing with that, really understand that there's always a way through. Sometimes it's simple, sometimes it's hard, but there's always a way through and there's always hope available. If you find yourself cornered again, try to find some self support or find people who are willing to support you, because staying cornered and staying in that feeling will just mean that you waste your entire month dealing with absolutely nothing and just isolating yourself. So don't limit yourself. There's a lot of things you can do. I always love the saying, shoot for the stars. Even if you miss, you end up near the moon. So, yeah, it's good for us to actually move forward in a way that acknowledges that we might have a hard time mentally and emotionally, but it's worth it to do. So, I wish you all a really pleasant month. And again, if you need advice and help this month, which a lot of us will need with this kind of energy, don't hesitate to reach out.